A long road to equality. People often ask me why am I still fighting for equality since I'm a really active equalist and I spread awareness about this topic daily on my social media. Well, you may think that we have freedom of speech and amendments protecting our rights, but do we really have rights? Do we really have freedom of speech and freedom to live? Well, not all of us. A lot of people doesn't realize that equality is still far from the grasp of people with color, people with different sexual preferences. And sadly, it occurs on genders and ages as well. Well, we should all stop being ignorant and face the truth about this cold, hard world and make a difference right away. So when did all of this start? Movements regarding to equal rights starts from women protesting for their right to vote for a president in the late 19th century, led by Alice Paul. A lot of women were jailed and force-fed at the Occoquan Workhouse, which is a prison in Virginia. And this movement evokes protests for women with color. On 1917, 15,000 black women wearing white dresses marched in New York against racial discrimination. So basically, those movements evolved to second wave protests about equal pay and job positions for women. In 1982, there were protests for abortion rights and other rights. All those decades of protest made changes to the world. Even so, it's still not enough. I see a lot of people who are still discriminated by the color of their skin or the way that they look a certain way and their genders, and don't get me started with the sexuality. There are murders and false allegations based on someone's appearance, bombing on clubs for people with certain sexualities, and that's just wrong. People are just trying to live. And why do I still fight for equality? Because bad things are still happening, and it's fact. Women are still shut down because they're women, and people of color are still discriminated, and they live in fear. There are girls being treated family to family like property, and this is the reality that we live in. And how can you do to help? If you have a platform on your social media, well, you can use it to spread awareness about things like this and movements about things like this. We are still far from equality, and we should not stop fighting, like, ever.